So, when was the last time I did a video? September 27th? What? My goodness. It's almost been a month. Holy crap. Yeah, it's been a while since I've actually done a video, and I gotta be honest though, like, who missed me? I don't know, like, seriously, who missed me? I'm like looking around, and I'm just like, okay, there's all this new stuff that's come out. The GAIZ structure deck's come out. A Synchron Extreme structure deck has been announced for the OCG. We're learning about Stardust Warrior, which early translations made it broken, and then the new translation, it's not as broken, but it's still very playable. And there's just weird shit like that. And, you know, we've been learning stuff about the Legendary Collection 5Ds, and, you know, apparently Necloth, Spirit Beast, and Hermit Yokai are in DN now, and all that other stuff. So, I mean, I gotta say, I'm playing freaking Spirit Beast right now. I had a different duel with this, but I didn't like it. Even though it was a really close game, I didn't like it because I felt like I didn't play the deck optimally enough. Like, especially because I usually want to show, like, what the deck can possibly do and stuff like that. But, yeah, it's been a while, and, yeah, I mean, did anybody miss me? I don't know. I mean, you got people like Vexicus, you got Cyber Knight, you got MCO40, you've got, you know, you got all these cool people that upload a lot of stuff, and, you know, they do dual videos sometimes and all that other stuff. So, I mean, what am I? Like, I'm just the guy who just happens to post videos about Yu-Gi-Oh! And sometimes Pokemon. I mean, damn, I haven't done a Pokemon video for a long time now. But yeah, it's just kind of like, yeah, I've been out of the loop for a while. Haven't really done that many games. Heck, I've just recently gone on DN and started doing some games. In fact, I got 3 games. 3 games in one. Yeah, 3 games in one. Mainly, I'm going to be discussing all 3 of the archetypes that had debuted in Booster SP Tribe Force in Japan. And talk about some other random stuff as well. I mean, I guess that's kind of the main gist of this. And yeah, so that's pretty much a thing. So, hey everybody, LeeSpeed here, coming at you with a duel video. So, like I said, I'm going to be talking about 3 archetypes in one. Yeah, I know it's going to be very tedious, and it's going to be a pretty long video, but there's going to be some other things I'm going to throw in here as well. But, you know, I'm going to mainly have 3 archetypes being discussed at the same time. You know, I have like one duel video, like right after another, and like a weird transition kind of thing. I mean, it's as basic as it comes, you know? So, I guess since this is the first thing, this is the first archetype that I wanted to mainly go over, because this is probably the one I'm going to be end up doing more videos on, is Spirit Beasts. Yeah, so I've been doing discussion videos on this archetype for quite a while. When the cards were getting revealed for the first time, we saw the blurry images or not so colorful images, and, you know, I would do new videos every time a new card for the archetype would appear. And the only ones I haven't gone over are when the Spirit Beast Tamer and Apelion, the Noble Spirit Beast. And I am, one thing I do want to go just to mention is that some of the name changes I'm not used to. Like Lara is Rara now, which is weird. That just doesn't roll off the tongue. It really doesn't. And freaking Apelio is now Apelion. I mean, again, I mean, it's going to take me a while to get used to this, because I'm just saying, well, the names as they were when they were announced. So it's kind of like, okay, well, the names are changed a little bit, just a bit. And, you know, the Sacred Spirit Beast mounts or whatever, they're like the tamed Sacred Spirit Beasts, which is whatever. I mean, I'm fine with that. That's not that big of a change to me. But yeah, I didn't do a video about when and Apelion, because I don't know, like at the time I just didn't feel like making a video. And yeah, I mean, at that time I think I was like playing, well, I was mainly looking forward to playing Smash Brothers, and some people might be able to tell that I've been doing that. But yeah, I don't know, it's kind of weird though, because when I think about Yu-Gi-Oh! And stuff like that and where it's going right now, I mean, don't get me wrong, I mean, the game is still fun sometimes, but I mean, I'm feeling that state where it's just like, am I enjoying this right now? Maybe not as much as I would like, but I don't know, maybe it's just me being stupid and, you know, maybe just not caring about the game anymore. And to be honest, when I get wrecked by Necloth with the first game I play with this archetype is against Necloth and I get wrecked, yeah, that doesn't really help me at all. I'm just like, oh my goodness, this stuff is ridiculous. And the thing is, I had to actually change up my list a bit because dumb me actually didn't think of putting combination of Spirit Beasts. Like, I had it taken out of the deck mainly because I was expecting to face a lot of Burning Abyss and Shadow. Now, I say that mainly because those are like the decks that have been seeing a lot of play. And, you know, Burning Abyss are getting a new tuner and Synchro Monster, so it's kind of like, yeah, combination isn't going to help me too much. In fact, all it's going to do is help them out. And it may slightly disrupt them, but it's not going to really do all that much. So, at that point, it's just kind of like, yeah, I took it out of the deck. But then, I decided, you know what? After that one game, after a game I had with this deck, I decided to make some changes. And I also decided to add Macrocosmos, Dimensional Fissure, and I think Soul Drain. I don't know if I added Soul Drain, but I added Macrocosmos and Dimensional Fissure because, well, obviously the deck can play them and it doesn't really hurt them. The only thing that does hurt is potentially Rara's ability to special summon a Spirit Beast monster from the graveyard. Now, that could be because, well, if you don't have a graveyard, then you can't bring anything back. But, I mean, you can get around that, but again, that's one thing you do have to watch out for. And it's definitely something that you have to keep in mind when you play this deck, because when you play those cards, you definitely have to, you have to make Sacred Spirit Beast Kanahawk to get around this, because with his effect, you can return 2 Spirit Beast cards from your banish pile to the graveyard and get a search off. And because of how the mechanic of returning cards to the graveyard works, it bypasses cards like the Macrocosm and Dimensional Fissure. So it basically means, well, I could get a search off, and at the same time, I could pretty much have Lara's effect being live. Now, there's a couple other cards that we've yet to know about, like that Penguin dude Rapenta isn't on DM, but he's on Death Row. And I think we're going to get more stuff for them, because so far all the monsters seem to have a fusion. Like all the normal Spirit Beasts have a fusion that their tamers fuse with. So there's definitely more to come, and yeah, this is just kind of a random game I had with it, but I'll do more videos on this archetype because this is mainly the archetype I'm going to be playing. But yeah, I think the archetype does have a bit of potential, but obviously Necloth kind of overshadowed this archetype and the other archetype just by a whole lot. So, I don't know. I think with a bit more stuff, they can probably do a bit more, because I'm trying to think of like what else they needed at the time, because I think if they had something, like I think if they had like a Spirit Beast monster or a card that lets you add one from the grave to your hand, that wouldn't be a bad idea. And like maybe a 1 or 2 of like a Spirit Beast monster that lets you add like maybe a fusion that lets you add back Spirit Beast monsters from your graveyard to your hand or something like that. It would have perfect synergy with Kanahawk. So I don't know. I'll go more into that later. But here's the next archetype I want to kind of go over. This one, sadly, this I can say a lot more about than Spirit Beast, because, well, let's be honest, there's a lot of shit this deck can do. So, Necloth. Basically, what happens when you have like some ice barriers, you have ice barrier synchros, and you have Gishki type rituals and stuff like that. Basically, you have something like this, and it is kind of ridiculous, actually. And I'll kind of go over why that is, because this is the archetype that, like, I struggle to get a decent game with it, and I still kind of am, because a lot of the games are just very lopsided in one way or another. Either I'm like lopsiding my opponent, or they're lopsiding me with Vanity's Emptiness or something like that. It's not something that I look forward to at all. In fact, that's probably why I'm not going to be doing as many games with this, hopefully. Well, like, let me rephrase this. There might not be as many videos about this because, well, I mainly want to focus on Spirit Beast, but I do kind of want to get this out there because it's just like, well, they got a lot of boss monsters, and a lot of them are hand traps too, so it's kind of like, well, they can be kind of annoying to deal with. And actually, you know, because when I try to get games with this, like people leave as soon as I discard Bryonic or Colossalus to get a search off. It's like, oh, scoop, because they know what's coming. And yeah, Trishula is a big problem, and you're definitely gonna want to watch out for that. But to be honest, though, like, I think this archetype is like, I don't know, like it's weird. This is like freaking Prophecy 2.0. Like, seriously, like, have you seen half the shit this stuff does? It searches for days. It's like freaking Prophecy over here. Like, search for this, which searches for this, which gets you this, and like, oh, I get to play a ritual spell that lets me use Necloth in my graveyard, and I can summon Trishula, I can summon Valkyrius, I can summon Bryonic if I want. If you have extra deck monsters, I can get rid of 2 of them with Bryonic. I have Decisive Armor, which is a ginormous 3300 beat stick, just like its synchro counterpart. And he could banish a set card once per turn. Like, are you kidding? And you have Gungnir, which is not on DN, but the Necloth of Gungnir can protect one of your Necloths from being destroyed by battle or card effects for the rest of the turn. So, yeah, a lot of the rituals have secondary effects. And, yeah, I mean, you can kind of play this deck kind of like Protect the Castle. Like, you could summon your Trishula and then have shit like the Necloth of Gungnir or another copy of Trishula or Decisive Armor to protect your Trishula on the field from getting hit by stuff. The only things that you're not covered is obviously non-targeting effects like Spellbook of Fate, Indulgent Queen Tiramisu, and Memory of an Adversary. But again, that's just kind of like, there's not that many non-targeting options that you could, that generically any deck can run, you know what I mean? Because there's gonna be, you can get around them, because heck, you could pretty much toolbox your entire deck. And the problem I have with this archetype is that, like, since it can toolbox into pretty much anything, and since it can actually run the gen releaser, which one is it? The releaser rituals, I think. It's the one that when you use them as ritual material, the monster that is summoned with it keeps the opponent's monsters from being special summoned. So I mean, I'm not running that, but I'm thinking of doing that and maybe running the target engine. I don't know. Like, for now, I'm just trying to run the most basic setup I can. And the thing is, I don't know, I think games with this archetype, I don't know, like, this kind of overshadows the other archetypes, like Hermit Yokai, or Hermit Yokai and Spirit Beast, just because this has the most potential out of all 3 of them, because, heck, not only is it kind of like a more improved Gishki, but the archetype can practically search for anything it wants. And the TCG has 3 Rhoda, so you can use the 3 Rhoda to get your Colossalus or Shrit. So you have 6 targets, and heck, you even have Preparation of Rites to get your Bryonic, or your Gungnir, or your Catastor, or your Unicorn. It's like, dude, what the hell, man? And heck, the thing is, it's just like, oh, I can go. Sometimes you can make turn 1 Trish. Well, you're not going to be doing that at the time. Like, you could go for like first turn, whatever ritual you like, because you have like Preparation of Rites, which can get you Bryonic, and then Bryonic could get you a card. And then if you have the ritual, then you can use Shrid, which you can get with Rhoda or Bryonic. I mean, whichever one you don't have at the time, you can just get out with Bryonic. You can also search Colossalus, which gets you the spell card if you don't have the spell. So if you don't have the spell, you can search it out, and then with Bryonic you can get Shrid or something like that. Or you can use Manju. I mean, I don't know. There's just so many ways to get to what you need. And I don't see Spirit Beasts doing anything like that. I mean, I don't see them having like all that much search power. I mean, yes, Necloth will lose to cards like Thunder King Ryle and Mistake, unless they happen to have the ritual and they summon a Beatstick and run over Thunder King. But I mean, if you don't have the ritual and you're counting on the whole searching prowess of the deck, you're obviously shut down by cards like that and Mistake. And obviously cards like Macrocosmos, Dimensional Vision, Her too, which, I mean, Spirit Beasts can run. But the only problem is those cards are at 1. So unless you just happen to draw them turn 1 and you go first and you get one of those cards online, they're going to just they're just gonna search their entire deck, just go through everything, summon Trishulas, summon Decisive Armor if they want. Heck, Decisive Armor gives 1,000 attack points to one of your monsters by discarding it to the graveyard. So it's kind of like, okay, it can pretty much freaking toolbox anything it wants. It's insane. I don't know. Like, plus using that, what's it called? Kaleido Mirror. You could send Herald of Rainbow Light, get a search off because it just has to go to the grave. I'm just like, seriously, what is up with this? But yeah, it's crazy. I don't know if I like it. Well, I like it, but I like all these archetypes so far. But that one just seems the most stupid to me. I'm just like, what the hell is going on? And yeah, that's me just rambling my random rant / discussion on Necloth because I haven't actually done that on that. But yeah, last deck is Hermit Yokai. Now, Hermit Yokai is the most interesting, I think, out of the three, as far as like what the archetype is designed to do. Basically, think of it like Mist Valley and Spirit Monsters. You have the whole bouncing element. You have the whole wind archetype in, like, you know, Mist Valley kind of covered. And you have the bouncing effect that, you know, spirits have at the end of the turn. And that was me being an idiot right there. I forgot to use the Shrine. The Shrine gets a counter every time you summon a Hermit Yokai monster. And a lot of these guys, when you normal summon them, you get to normal summon a different Hermit Yokai monster. And there's at least 3 level 4s. You know, they have similar names, but they're like brothers or something like that. So they have similar names. So it could be kind of confusing, I guess. But the idea is you want to get this deck can swarm the field really quickly. Swarm the field quickly. Heck, if you have Shrine, you can get a lot of counters. And you can remove 1 to give all your monsters 300 attack. Or you can remove 3 to get a search off, which means you can summon more stuff. So basically, simply put, you just gotta search wherever you want. Well, actually, you can search any of your Hermit Yokai monsters. They even have a couple level 6 guys as well, which I'm only running the guy that's like a wind catastor one, that he could blow up a non-wind monster when he battles. And I don't know, like this is what I aim to do with this deck particularly. I wanted to try running a mixture of Fire Fists with Hermit Yokai, because the Hermit Yokai are beast warriors. So you can get them off of Tanky, which, I mean, you're obviously going to run Tanky in the deck anyways. But you can also run the Fire Fist engine with, like, 3 Bear, 3 Wolf Bark, a Gorilla, etc. It says Wolf Bark's at 3. I mean, it's like, I don't know. It couldn't hurt to try it out just to see what would happen. Now, something that I did during this game was that I think at one point I tried to search out the Shrine with one of these guys, the 1500 attack one. Let's just call him that. The one that when one of your other Hermit Yokai does damage, you get to search a Hermit Yokai card or whatever. I made the idiotic move in thinking you could search out the Shrine, but you can't. Thank God, because that would have been so stupid if you could search the Shrine out. But basically, I wanted to try running a Fire Fist engine in here. Just because, well, they're all Beast Warrior. You can kind of toolbox into whichever one you need. If you need something to just remove monsters or spells, you can get Gorilla or Bear. You can just get the guy that special summons another Hermit Yokai, and then once per turn can bounce a card on the field to the hand. Or a face-up card your opponent controls and return it to the hand. This guy right here on the screen right now. But I don't know. I mean, it's very interesting because the archetype has a lot of, like, from what I understand, the deck can actually OTK pretty quickly because of how many monsters it can just summon and summon and summon and summon and summon all at once. Because all these guys, like, extra normal summon or special summon guys when they're summoned, and it's like, okay, yeah, so you can kind of see what the theme is, right? And they all go to the hand at the end phase. And some go back to the hand during the end phase if they're special summoned, like the boss monster, which is a pendulum monster, which I'm not using at this time. He goes to the hand when he's special summoned at the end phase. And there's me being an idiot again. I was tired when I did this. Like, it was like, I don't even know what time it was. It was really late. I keep forgetting about Arachnid being able to keep me from using spells and traps. But with that being said, though, I think this archetype definitely has a lot of potential. Mainly because I see this archetype definitely being able to do quite a bit. And that's definitely something that, you have to keep in mind and stuff like that. But yeah, I kind of like this archetype because it's kind of like Miss Valley and Spirits, which is a very interesting combination though, because yeah, oh yeah, that's me. Yeah, there's the part where I added Shrine when I'm not actually able to do that. Again, I was tired and I wasn't reading the card properly. But yeah, I think this archetype's interesting because this is one of the few decks that's not really hurt by something like Vanity's Emptiness. Because, I mean, you could just... Heck, a lot of your guys are just normal summonable, and you can normal summon other guys. So you could summon the 1500 attack guy, summon the 1600 attack guy, and bounce Emptiness or something like that to the hand. So you could still do your plays afterwards. So, I don't know. It's definitely an archetype with a lot of potential, and I definitely like it a lot. It definitely... I don't know, I think... I haven't tried out the Pendulum Monsters yet because I'm not sure like how well it's gonna work yet. We might need that level 6 guy in Secret of Eternity, but I don't know. I feel like with this variant, I'm counting more on just summoning level 4s with the exception of this guy, which is level 6, and going for a potential rank 4 plays if needed. Or just swinging at them and getting searches off with the 1500 attack one. And then you got this guy that can attack directly. That the damage he does is halved when you do that. But yeah, he lets you bypass monsters. And heck, if you have the 1500 attack guy, you can search. So it's kind of interesting. It's kind of a... Yeah, it's a very interesting... And heck, since the Shrine is kind of like a gateway to the 6, it definitely... I mean, I guess in a way it would function like that. It could function in a way like 6 Samurais, like spam the field, put counters on it, get searches, you know? I mean, that's kind of what it does. I mean, it's, and see, there you go. There's me summoning one guy, and then summoning this guy, and then summoning one guy, and then summoning the level 6 guy. Yeah, this deck can just swarm the field really quickly. And because you run tanky and stuff like that, you can pretty much get to whatever you need. You definitely want to get to the 1500 attack guy as fast as possible because he's pretty much just the guy that gets all your searching going on. He can get you the two Hermit Yokai Pendulum Monsters. He can get you the boss monster, which is a Pendulum Monster. And I don't know if I'm gonna run the builds with the pendulums in it, but it's definitely something I might look into. I'll at least look at what other people are doing and see like how well they're doing with that kind of build. I like this version just because it seems the most consistent. And it just seems more straightforward. Summon level 4s, activate effects, summon guys, bounce cards, destroy cards with bear, bounce, you know, and just swing, get searches. You have Shrine, which is gateway to the 6. I don't know. It's crazy. So it's nice. I like these 3 archetypes, but freaking Nekroz is crazy. So I don't know. Like, what do you guys think? I mean, I know this video was kind of like all over the place, but let's be honest. I mean, when have I not? I mean, I haven't done a video in ages, so... Yeah, I mean, don't be surprised that my commentary is weird because it's, well, weirder than it's ever been because I just haven't done a commentary in a while. In fact, since I've been playing Smash Bros. Like crazy, I haven't felt like playing this game all that much. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this stuff, and I guess I'll see you guys next time for more Spirit Beasts because that's what I'm going to be doing more of. And I said I'd be doing Teller Knights, but I don't know. I don't even feel like playing Teller Knights. Seriously, I don't. Maybe when the new Constellar Knight Diamond shows up, I'll play it just so I can talk about it. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Wow, this is one long-ass video. I'll tell you what.